here for the Bakerloo line. This is a Piccadilly line service. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This is Knightsbridge.
This train terminates at the next station. The next station.
This is London calling. London calling. This is London calling.
The students always love this trip.
It was a hike. We made it.
So much more out there and so much more to experience.
Has really opened my eyes to what it's like to live in another country.
Through this trip, I'm going to remember a lot more.
Everywhere you look, there's so much great architecture.
The Daniel House for us is home away from home, and it's great. The location is close. We're 2 blocks from the tube station. We can get anywhere in London in just a few minutes, and it's a safe neighborhood.
The Daniel House is located in South Kensington. We are about 2 blocks from Gloucester Road Tube Stop. Students go jogging. They found places to play soccer with other locals. The neighborhood has a great, rich history too. You can take walks through the neighborhood and learn something every day.
This is a great spot. It's so close to the tube stop and really safe area, really nice part of town. So don't feel endangered at all. I'm a big runner, so I've gotten to do a lot of that while I'm here.
It's a beautiful location. It's so close to everything. The tube's right down the street. There's so many little shops.
Kensington is kind of best known for a couple parks, Hyde Park and Kensington Gardens, which is right there next to Kensington Palace. We used to go up there and we'd throw a lot of Frisbee around the Round Pond, which is kind of another landmark of Hyde Park.
I've been involved with study abroad trips for other universities prior to coming to Samford. And the Daniel House at Samford is an asset that is just incredible.
There's always something going on and someone to see and some place to go. And the area is really awesome. It gives the same sense of security that Samford has to offer, but in London.
Without even getting on the tube, you have the Natural History Museum, you have the V&A, which is the Victoria and Albert Museum, 2 really famous, awesome museums.
It's also just a warm, inviting place that serves not only as a dormitory where we live while we're in London, but a classroom setting.
The parlor is a great place for them to hang out. They love to hang out and talk in the kitchen.
We spend a lot of time in the kitchen with group family meals and stuff like that.
That was one of my favorite parts, actually. We had group community dinners, and each group, because we were divided into sections, we would take turns cooking dinner for each other. And that's actually how we really got to start hanging out and become friends.
Really where some of the greatest moments here happen aren't just in the museums, but they might be sitting around the kitchen table late at night having a cup of tea after you've come in from a play and talking to the student about what they've seen and experienced that day. Those are just moments that are golden.
London is not a business center. It is not an art center. It is all of them rolled into one. It's the beginning of a lot of centers, actually. And so London into itself is a wonderful place for any student, no matter what their curriculum may be.
We've been on a boat, we've been on a train, we've been riding underground, we've been to north, south, east, west, and just the city in general is what I've enjoyed the most because it has so much to offer, so many layers of history.
We're about to go down the Thames River on a city cruise boat ride.
We're on a train going to Dover, and it's a castle. It's about 2 hours from London.
Today we are going to Hampton Court.
We're on our way to a soccer game with the sports marketing group.
I don't know what just happened, but it was pretty exciting apparently. For me, I feel like I learned by doing a lot more than by reading or in the classroom setting. So Dr. White's called this trip an experiential learning trip.
Instead of making them look at you know, a Van Gogh painting in a textbook, we take them to the actual museum where the Van Gogh painting is.
It's actually nice to see it in real life. It's nice to be part of actual like history and stand on the same grounds that they were actually at.
Honestly, I've never seen so many paintings in my life, and it's so much better than just looking in a book.
I mean, you can sit and stare at a book page like long enough, but you won't actually know what it means sometimes until you get there.
Well, I learn better by doing stuff anyway, so it's been really great to, you know, walk around and see pictures and museums and without just sitting down and being fed information. You don't really feel like you're taking a class here.
It just opens up their world to new things where even if, you know, they're not one of our majors, they certainly develop an appreciation for it.
I saw things that I've only read about in history books, and they're right there in front of my face. I could touch them if I wanted to, and everything I learned up to that point, from preschool to that point in college, just came to life.
I think that studying abroad at Samford was probably one of the most important decisions that I ever made. Sometimes I think when you take the biggest risks, you have the biggest payoffs, and I think there were a lot of girls and guys that I knew at Samford that were afraid to study abroad because they didn't want to leave school for a semester. They were worried about their friends, but when you do go away, you do strengthen those relationships with the people that you're there with, and I guess Samford and your friends will be there when you come back.
I look back on that and I think I got to experience 3 years of that. So 3 years of the fall, or if you went in the spring, you get to experience 3 years of spring, but you only have one opportunity, one shot at getting to go study abroad and live among people who are different than you and really make an impact.
They're worried about the classes, how the classes work out. It just comes down to planning ahead and working it out and trying to see, you know, what you can fit in, and the International Studies Department did a really good job with us.
I was actually debating about whether even coming on this trip. I've always wanted to study internationally, but I didn't know if this is where I wanted to go or not. But then I sat back and thought about it and realized it was the chance of a lifetime, and I couldn't be more happy that I'm here.
I would always encourage anyone I ever met to do it because it has completely changed my life, and I've never been more thankful for any other experience.